We get the intro of Arnold, which is just close-ups of muscles.
Hell yes, it is. With the steel drums going bananas.
Yep. Chainsaw in one hand, giant fucking log in the other. Someone's wailing on the saxophone too.
Hell yes.
Also,
everything about this movie fucking rules from the instant it starts until the very last second, to the very last frame.
They're like, he's a badass. Look at him carrying this log. He has lightning reflexes. Okay, he has a child. He's happy. The opening titles look like a TV news report for some reason.
Yeah, it just means that I'm going to get to Commando faster.
Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger as John Matrix, who's a retired badass.
Yeah,
that's it.
This is all we ever learn about him. And that's all in the opening credits.
Yeah, and that's all you need. That's all you need.
That's all we need. That's all we know. That's all we ever learn about John Matrix.
He's a retired badass. Yeah. That's it. Backing up a little bit, this movie starts with a dump truck riding around Hollywood. Or Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's the Hollywood Hills, it looks like, but...
Yeah, assassinating a man.
Can I say how the assassination takes place? They shoot a man. It's just, they shoot him 78,000 times with Uzis.
Yeah.
It's that's their, like, covert early morning assassination, is they just light this dude up.
So that they could loudly shoot him in the street.
Yeah, just shoot him to death in his cul-de-sac and just drive away.
So yeah, he's a retired badass with a kid. He's living in the mountain.
Yeah.
A chopper comes. They're like, "One last job, Matrix."
This movie is almost a spoof of itself.
Yes, almost. Then motherfuckers just start shooting up the house. Arnold knows they're coming because he smelled them coming like a dog.
Because he has Matrix senses.
Yep. They kidnap his daughter.
Yeah, they do.
He has to get him back. Let me tell you,
it's the biggest mistake of their lives.
Yeah. So he drives a car down a cliff.
Hell yeah, he fucking does.
That thing explodes for no reason.
It explodes for the explicit reason that it's awesome.
Yeah. They kidnap him. They put him on a plane, and they're like, it's an 11-hour flight. And he escapes like a cat escaping a car.
He sure does.
Like he like squirms out of the plane.
Well, he murders his seatmate first.
He sure does.
He breaks the shit out of his neck. And he says, "Excuse my friend, he's dead tired. You see, because I have snapped his neck." And then he scrambles out of there like a ferret.
He jumps, I'm pretty sure, 100 feet.
Yes, he jumps off the plane.
He jumps out of the plane.
He's wearing slacks.
Yep, and he lands in a swamp and he's fine.
He's fine. And just gallops down the jetway. This movie's incredible.
Well, hold on. He follows one of the henchmen who's put him on the plane, who stayed behind. We learn is a dirtbag who follows a flight attendant to her car.
Yeah, it's Sully. It's the dude that says warriors come out to play.
It is, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So the flight attendant, Arnold makes be a honeypot, where he's like, he kidnaps her.
Yeah.
He carjacks and kidnaps her.
Yes.
Drives her to the mall, and is like, distract this man for sex, and then I'm going to kill him. And so she does what anybody should do, and just goes to the cops.
Yeah, goes to the nearest police officer, and is like, excuse me, this shaved gorilla has abducted me.
Yeah. And the cops are like, that is a large man. He ends up fighting all the cops.
Yeah, he does.
Like
a bear, like a loose circus bear.
Yeah.
That's how they treat him. They treat him like he's a fucking loose bear.
Absolutely. They should throw a net on him. That movie is basically a constant rampage.
Yes.
From here on, he is on a rampage.
The entire film is a rampage.
It's an unbroken rage tour of America.
This seems to be one of the few Arnold movies where the characters in the film are actually aware that he's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, where they're like, my God.
They're aware he's gigantic. They're aware he's a ball of murder.
The funniest part to me was when he gets in the woman's car and tears the seat out.
Yeah, he does.
Because he needs her to follow somebody, and he knows that he's a gigantic Austrian man.
Yeah.
And he's like, I need to look smaller. He emotes less than the Terminator.
He really does. It feels intentional, though.
The next thing I had written down, because I think it's car chase, drive directly into a telephone pole. The editor doesn't waste a second. It's smash, and it cuts to Arnold, and he turns to her and goes, "Are you all right?" And they get out.
Listen, this movie is a lean 90 minutes long.
It really is. It's incredible.
This movie just moves. This is where he dangles Sully off the fucking Hollywood Hills. And then he's like, hey, Sully, remember how I said I would kill you last? He's like, yeah, you did say that. I lied. And then he just fucking drops him.
We never hear him hit the ground.
No, he falls through time. Sully is still falling.
And of course, shout out to Cindy, the flight attendant.
Yeah, Radon Chong. She is Tommy Chong's daughter.
Movies love to do this where it's like he kidnapped her, he let her go, and then she comes back. So it's like, okay, this is your choice.
She becomes ride or die pretty quick. But no, basically he goes from there. He goes to meet Bill Duke because that's where Sully was going.
I mean, just him fighting Bill Duke is amazing. He's never scared.
No, he's never in trouble.
Like not at the end. There's no like low point where he's like, oh no, I'm really hurt.
He is never in trouble.
There are no stakes. There's not. It doesn't matter. That's not why the movie exists.
That's not why it exists. That's not the point.
I don't even remember what the bad guys are up to in this film, and I just watched it.
Okay, so the bad guys, they're trying to support a coup in the fictional country of Valverde, which is the hotbed of all sorts of international turmoil in the Joel Silver universe, the Silververse.
Right. Is it better to make up a fictional South American country?
Probably.
Or I think it's technically better.
It's all supposed to be Cuba.
Great.
So Dan Hedaya is this ruthless general who wants to seize power in a coup, and he hires John Matrix's former teammate Bennett, played by the fucking bad guy from The Road Warrior.
Yeah, Sir Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, Sir Freddie Mercury. So they abduct his daughter to force him to go help install Dan Hedaya in power in Valverde. And boy, Dave...
It immediately goes wrong.
John Matrix does not for 1 second entertain their plan.
No. They go to the henchman office. They find a photo of an airplane. Someone took the photo of the airplane.
They sure did.
I bet that's where they're going.
Yeah, I guess they were going to he'd take a picture of the airplane so he'd remember what to look for?
Yeah.
Why did they have a photo of the airplane?
He drives a construction vehicle through a gun shop. They do this lock and load montage where they're like, get this, get that, load up. And they're like, let's do it. And then cops just come up and they're like, freeze. And they literally cut the music. And they just show him getting escorted out in handcuffs. Yep. It's this is the movie that a movie like Last Action Hero spoofed.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. He and the flight attendant, Radon Chong, they get to the seaplane that they had a photograph of. They fly to Valverde.
Yeah.
They land at Dan Hedaya's palatial fortress mansion, murder 100 soldiers.
Yes. He gets a scrape because a grenade detonates 3 feet away from him. And he flies through the air, and then he's like, ow. And he looks at his side, and there's a scrape.
Dave,
yeah.
I love this movie so much.
I know, it's so good.
Then he gets into a shotgun duel with Dan Hedaya.
Yeah.
Dan Hedaya in a linen suit doing a fucking Tony Montana voice.
Shotgun fight with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and guess what? He doesn't win.
He does not emerge victorious.
So, yeah, and then he fights medieval Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, he fights Bennett.
He launches a pipe through him at the end.
Through Bennett. He rips a massive steam pipe, and I guess that's what all that log shouldering was prepping him to do. He was like, I can very easily hoist this pipe onto my shoulder because of all the log shoulder work I was doing in the past.
In that sequence, it's like Arnold hypnotizes him.
Right.
Because he has Arnold's daughter, and he's like, this is my leverage. And then he goes, you don't need the gun and the girl. And then he's just like, yes, I don't need the gun and the girl.
I don't need the gun or the girl.
He gets briefly electrocuted.
Yeah, he sure does.
And he recovers just fine.
I want to kill you, John.
It's weird to say because it's like a parody of a type of film that Arnold wasn't doing.
Right, that he hadn't made yet. So it was like
Yeah.
the idea of what these movies could be, whereas Commando, it's the idea of stripping it all down to just, these are the essential things that we need to know, and it turns out you can make a perfectly fine, all-time classic action movie by doing that.
This is the first modern, straightforward action film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger where he is acting just like himself.
Yes.
And that means something.